있으면 난 마찬가지야.
New York, New York. It's banging on the shoes. I'm longing to stray right into the very heart of New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't slip. Can't find that king of the cute. Stop all that hit. Zero channels are in the way. I've been already story in old New York. If I can make it there and make it anywhere, it's up to you. New York, New York. Don't you understand me? Why? It's in Turkish. Don't you speak Turkish? Oh my God. Hello! Japan! Wait, Japan! Japan! Konbanwa! Where you move, I go. Namigara, Kore, Nagioni, Toimasu, Arnoni, Itori, Oshino, Yoru. And who is Malaysia? Malaysia. Selamat malam, selamat datang. Oh, ni hao. Rasa saya, hey, rasa saya, hey, hey, dia tolak ciao. Rasa saya, hey, rasa saya, hey, rasa saya, hey.
Dia nona jauh rasa sayang.
Then you listen to me. Look at the Nippon. Wait. Nippon! Finally, Italia. Öldürme beni, sevmişim seni. Öldürme beni, sevmişim seni. Kuş diliyle kurban, ince beliyle giyim. Şekerleriyle kurban, benim bana. Kuş diliyle kurban, ince beliyle giyim. Şekerleriyle kurban, benim bana.
Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que será, será. Que será, será. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que será, será.
Dillerde name adın, dillerde name adın, aşkı gibi, sevda gibi, huysuz ve tatlı kadın, huysuz ve tatlı kadın, aşk gibi, sevda gibi, huysuz ve tatlı kadın, huysuz ve tatlı kadın. Bilemem, bilmem yanıyor musun? Bilmem yanıyor musun? Bring back, oh bring back Bonnie to me.
In Istanbul, the last official tour, which is the Topkapi Blue Mosque, and I'm wrong. Start again. We're going to the Bazaar Market and San Sofia, as well as Topkapi.
So we're driving now around that's Old Town's peninsula. So we'll bring you here the first, time. Now we'll see those 5th century walls of Constantinople now that runs along that road. So when you look at the beginning, or the people who came and settled on this, say the land, was somewhere around here, where we have also quite a nice park, to the right. That's called Saray Burnu in Turkish. So when you read the history of Istanbul, around 7th century AD, that's where the people from Megara, from where we have the Greece today, that they settled at the tip of this peninsula, that overlooking the entrance of the Bosphorus and to the Asian side. So now looking at Asia from a different, angle now. So the main commercial port of Istanbul is on the Asian side over there. Now here starts the walls, and the water's actually much closer to these walls in time of Roman Empire. So this is all reclaimed that they built, the roads in the 20th century. So this wall, it runs about like 22 kilometers and surrounding the whole city. Now here are the Princess Islands on our left there, that 4 islands, and the number of people at weekends going to islands for swimming. And also we have number of people that spend summer, that have their summer homes. And on the largest, one, they have tours that they take you on a horse-drawn cart, and then you just drive around the island about, an hour. And very quiet, because you wouldn't see any vehicles on these islands, only bicycles and maybe some motorbikes, maybe some state-owned vehicles, but nobody would have their own private car on these islands. So it's indeed quite pleasant around 1:30, 2 o'clock. We may finish our tour today, And so now we will start with Topkapi Palace first. That's our first visit, and then we'll go and see Hagia Sophia, that grand imperial church, which was changed to a mosque in 15th century. And then we go to the Grand Bazaar as our last stop today. So after Sardar Bey, our dear, modest, humble driver, takes us to the first place, and so we'll be walking through the first courtyard, because the courtyard, I mean, you cannot drive that very close to the entrance of the palace. Now please look straight ahead. See that brick wall right there, straight ahead. So that's the end of the hippodrome.
The Sultan Ahmed
Yeah.
Mosque or Blue Mosque.
And just behind here, we have a bazaar here, but just next to the bazaar, that they found the remains of the Grand Palace of the Emperor that I was telling you. And that palace complex actually was going quite extended, towards Topkapi Palace. So that means before the Turks, so the Romans, or in other words, Eastern Romans called Byzantines, they had been living on the same, actually, grounds, just here. And now again, seeing the mosque from a different angle from here, please, on your left, it's a good angle to see that's the north facade now, and all minarets. See those benches here on the left side? They have light and sound show at night time. Let's check what time it starts here. Now on the sign over there it says 9 p.m. But let's see what language is going to be tonight. What is tonight? Today is 31st. 31st, it's in French tonight. Yeah.
See this yellow building? It's at the Four Seasons. The hotel. It's quite a small, and now they're adding some more. See, rooms on this side of the building. Actually, they're kind of like a bit of criticism, that they were building the new additional part on the top of the ancient ruins. See? I mean, they still continue and they say, no, we did not damage anything, and they're so precise, no worry. But a number of archaeologists actually were not happy, with that.
The Roman
So,
ruins.
I think, hoping that they're going to open that area soon, for the public. Still sleeping. Well, so we approach to the very first gate of the palace. So once we enter through that, we'll be in the first courtyard of the Topkapi Palace, or will be in the grounds of the palace. But the actual museum, it starts from the second gate and on. If I'm not mistaken,
1478.
second,
The building was started.
the one before, the last one before Sultan Mahmud II. So his son would be either maybe let's say in the middle of the Sultan. That time to time he could just come here and just watch what's happening outside. Or they say for a time, it turned to like the barrack of the guards, because each gate definitely intrigued. It is now used for the concerts. We have International Music Festival in Istanbul every June. So some of the, say the concerts, like classical music, or like maybe operas, and some chamber, you call it chamber orchestra, kind of classical music concerts are done in the church, See, there are lots of trees and wonderful shades. but I particularly stopped in this one. Why? See the tree behind me? See, therefore, it's very particular. The only one in this museum. See, it's only one trunk, but it's two kinds of trees. One is fig tree, and the other one is a cypress. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, this is of the Sultan.
It's the harem
Of course,
quarter.
a huge number of chambermaids. You know, these girls that serving to Queen Mother, and each wife had a number of, you know, maids, you know, as well in there. So therefore the number, it could reach over maybe like 600-700, you know, in the harem only. And this beautiful building again, with those caged windows. So you can all gilded. So this is the council. That's where the Sultan would meet his ministers, discussing the affairs of the state. And also this is the office that those complaints, the letters, would be brought, you know, in. By the way, through that second gate, only the Sultan can ride on his horse. No other dignitary. Only Sultan. Right there.
These chimneys are all the cooking, food preparation area, kept separate from the main living quarters in case of fire. Vast kitchen.
If you could see there, it just gives us a little idea about one of those ceremonies. And it's this picture, I think, yes, it was the coronation ceremony of brother, you know, of the Sultan, but of course not from the same, you know, woman. So kind of like also. And these fabric pieces used as a curtain hanging over the windows, or just to cover the pillows, which will be on the throne of the Sultan. Each gate closely guarded. And from this point
Guards,
on,
fireplace.
the ambassador is going to visit the Sultan. In there, they will all do the security check. No daggers, no knife, nothing. You'll get purified in here before you walk into the And the throne seems like a big bed, but he was just sitting, of course, at the end of it. And had a fireplace that covered with 10 or 9 carat of gold. And a beautiful canopy. And this building was added to the palace in after 17th century. So they were using another corner of the palace as a throne room.
That was the audience room. Behind is the mosque for the guards, the library.
You know, the palace had actually a number of fires in its past. Therefore, the original throne room was way down in that corner. So, I mean, they added this, you know, later over here. Now, what we see here, just before the crown jewels, the costumes, or the kaftans of the Sultan. And quite a recent and new exhibition, by the way. And they decided to rotate, by the way, some of those exhibitions.
Splendid sort of corner room, open to the elements, and fabulous views. The water used to come right up to the old city walls. The road has been added. This is a sort of corner point in the middle of a section of the jewel rooms. Got jewel rooms on either side of this, but I can't film. So I've just come out of the Treasury. That's the Treasury exit there, the top. Kathy Dagger is in there on the right hand side.
And that was built when Sultan Murad IV came from a campaign in Baghdad. See, we have a problem in Baghdad. See, 400 years ago, the Ottomans actually they conquered as part of Middle East, and so Baghdad at least was under the Ottoman rule for a while. Yeah, beautifully tiled wall. That was the circumcision room. That the Sultan comes, you get there. Let's say the surgery that he's done, the beautiful apartment, and then it's going to be like 2 weeks or up to a month, like a festival in the city.
Pavilion for breaking fast. Circumcision ring. It's off this beautiful square.
And very extraordinary tile. Look at the size of it. Only one piece and another one on the other side. Very unusual, having one single piece of tile.
So what is the tile?
Now in Kütahya.
Tulips heavily featured in the motif.
Or in Cappadocia. Cappadocia is usually like small. Or the city that we came along. campaign at Baghdad area in 17th century. So if you think of maybe where the Sultan would have his lunch, or maybe during the day sit, read, write, and as I told you, just doing some handcrafts as well. So this would be a good, example for you. So we don't have any carpeting on the floor, but originally all the floor being carpeted for them. And the places that they were sitting, they all had big leather cushions. You call them sofa as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the pillows. So just an oriental, style. No chairs and tables until, they moved into new palace in Dolmabahce. Now they have tables, chairs, very westernized style. But today, maybe if you stay in the countryside with a peasant family, a farmer's family, then they will have the same tradition like here, while you're eating, just crossing the leg and sit on the floor around a table. Main fireplace and keep it in that braziers.
Revan kiosk.
And the niches on the wall, these niches, we will use for candles. And the Sultan, by the way, would generally have the dinner on the he would not have a big family, dinner. Usually he himself, maybe a couple of dignitaries sometimes, joined. Generally speaking, they were having their dinner or their meals.
We're now going to visit the kitchens.
We finish in Topkapi Palace. So that's indeed, being more than a kitchen, so won't be wrong to say the food factory. Cooking for thousands, on special occasions. So that kitchen building today is maybe the oldest, part of the palace. So the other parts just being extended. They have the new ones, but maybe being the oldest, and many, books also. You can read that.
So this room was devoted to making the sweets, the puddings for the Sultan.
There's that spoon you need to stir those pots. Oh. they did in England. Look at that. Hot.
So this is the kitchen block stretching right down to the end on the left. See the chimneys.
Chyba to widać.
Fans who he was talking about. Apparently the Sultan's held one of the largest collections of Chinese ware in the world. Just a fraction of it on display here.
그거랑 비슷하잖아.
A 12,000 pieces approximately here. So again, we're still in the kitchen areas, now being used for display. So we're now leaving the grounds of Topkapi, back out through the same gateway that we entered. Street market here on the way.
How much? How much? How much?
Was except those flying buttresses, you know, these were added later. Or if you just walk
Built in
around
532.
the church, you will find in these very beautiful, walls main church buildings, because otherwise, having a number of earthquakes in the past of Istanbul today I will be telling you, there had been a church here, and this high.
Hagia Sophia. Sophia meaning wisdom.
İşte sonra temizlemişler bunu.
On les garde comme ils sont. C'est gölde. Derneğimizde.
This is the only one.
Renovation work obviously going on there.
See that interior, how enormous it is, huge, and that we're windows. Whereas we have a similar one just above us, and another similar one in this corner. So these are representing the cherubs. Four cherubs, the four angels, four archangels here. And then the gallery, it's original from the time of the Byzantine Empire, reserved for the lady. And the empress and the wives of the other dignitaries, they would get together in this car where you see those beautiful candelabras. See, it started with Islam, then I should tell you. I mean, just having the man and woman, that's separate. And actually in Judaism also, they still practice. But I think they don't practice more, except the churches in Russia, as far as I know, that's still separate. But most of the other Eastern Orthodox churches, now, they're all, mixed of each. Like 7 meters. And we have the names of the Halifas. See, every single mosque visit today, you will definitely find the names of these Halifas. It starts from there. Actually, that's the name Muhammad over there, our prophet's name. And then the first one, second, third, fourth. Yes, Beer Lake, yes, in 19th century. So what the church did, they simply, did some additions into interior. Like these wooden, the platforms just behind you. Or this is very oriental balcony down next to the wall on the left. See that kind of like onion-shaped arcade. And a big armchair a little way down, right leaning to the column over there. The big armchair that carved in marble, that's again in Islamic tradition. And the box for the Sultan, way down next to the wall, is a beautiful cage box, huge as a mosque. So they simply covered them up with a layer of plaster, maybe sometimes cover them with a fabric. So when it turned into a museum in 1924, so they did start cleaning that plaster, and then they all appeared. Now let's try to remember those. Any yellow area that you see, actually it goes all along the aisle and the other one as well. This is all done again by little tiny pieces of gold mosaics. Imagine the workmanship here.
Yes, right.
Let me tell you, 5 years it took to build this. Would you believe that? 5 years?
I'm surprised. Not long.
Imagine the technology. It should be, continuous work. Answer the question. If you look at that semicircle, that was the altar of the church. Now if you see the Islamic altar, it just sits a little bit off the center. Yes, that's how they did that. So we said this is the east. So just getting it a little bit to the south, because from Istanbul it will be southeast, direction to Mecca. So this is how they. And the leaf and no, not ruined actually. Many fish. You see it? Now look at the set from the. Symbol, like the mascot of Istanbul, Constantinople. Remember on our boat ride, I just said that on the mic that there were some dolphins, usually dolphins here. But look at the thing in between the two dolphins, the trident, which is one of the attributes of what the Poseidon. Also putting the initials of the emperors and the empresses right in the middle. See, there is a ring. There we have the initials in the Greek language of different emperors and the empresses. But the date was like around the 4th century BC. So they just added that top, part. And then
And then the step.
Yeah, small, yeah. Thank you.
they put it that because it's right behind you. On this side.
This gate
So neither level. These are the letters that read, in the circles, meaning neither, mother, mother, mother, mother. Level means is God. So mother of God. So the from Jesus. And the two famous emperors of the city. That one lived in about 6th century and one of them lived in 4th century. So that's the church we just visited. So Justinian, Emperor Justinian, and Emperor Constantine, or known as Constantine the Great. Unfortunately, you would not have on the south entrance of the church. However, in 10th century, this actually turned to the main or become.
Because he knows exactly where to go.
Oh yes, you could easily get lost
Otherwise
in
he
there.
can,
couldn't you? Oh no, they don't have too much. It's a fairly sprightly walk. No, they don't look bothered. Now we're off to the Grand Bazaar. No, I'm saying.
Something.
The bazaar, and this is a beautiful emblem on top of it. And down below it says the name of the gate. Each gate has a name. And this starts with N. So when you're coming back to the bus, you must definitely be back here at this point. Otherwise, that means you get lost. So as soon as you step out of the bazaar, you must see.
This is the the main avenue through the bazaar, but obviously a myriad of streets off on both sides. So it's Thursday evening, our last evening in Istanbul. Just going for a walk, perhaps find a restaurant.
Moving a lot.
I think we've got to come down here really, just for the view of the water rather than... Unless we see somewhere better. Well, you don't look disappointed. It's worth making the effort to come.
Oh yes, yeah, no, it's good. You've got restaurants on both sides with this archway through the middle. Harangued by all the restaurateurs.
Thelma's not going to eat, so... I'm not going to.
Multiple crossbows.
Queste africaine
Yeah, except clothes. Look.
Decent hotel from outside,
It's not a bad facade at
No,
all.
no.
No.
Friday, 1st of August 2008. We are leaving at 2:15 to catch our flight at 5 o'clock. And we're going, this is the Istanbul Spice Bazaar, Spice Market, in the old Istanbul.
We've got until just after 2 o'clock, and then we catch our coach back to the airport.
Yes, please. Can I help?
Even those small ones, they're really nice look like. See those reds, orange?
A mí me gustan esas paneletas.
Ahora, mira.
Ahora está requisito, ¿qué?
So we've come through the spice market and out to the other side, which it's actually an L shape, but this is now facing the waterfront. More overcast today. Quite pleasant though, not too bad, not too hot. It's definitely the street of cheese here.
Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Did you buy?
Yes, we got
The mother of Sultan Mehmet IV gave orders for this Mustafa Aga to be constructed, and it was built in 1664. 1664 and still going strong. Final view from the rooftop, Istanbul Hotel.
One thing Oscar made no reference to before he left was the business of having taken the photocopies of the prices of the excursions and going in.